Hello everyone, this is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne, bringing you a video tonight titled, Successful Black Men and the Women Who Revere Them. But before we go any further, always know that my videos, they are inspired by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to the new, How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at www.matthewchorne.com. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to help me to grow the movement through that activity. Once again, tonight's video is titled, Successful Black Men and the Women Who Revere Them. I felt the need to bring this subject matter about because in my experiences, I've learned something and I've seen it repetitively, and it's something that I've accepted. And what I've seen is that as a successful black man who has his stuff together, who lives a relatively middle class, upper middle class lifestyle, who has, a backdrop of continual success, meaning that this man has really made something of himself. When it comes to black women, one thing that I've observed is that either you're revered or you're hated, and there's really no in between. And considering that you built yourself up as a black man, there is a need to be able to recognize what type of woman is in front of you early, often, and at all times. Early, often, and at all times. You need to be able to decipher the woman who is in front of you very quickly. And one thing that I'm, once again, seeing and accepting is that most women are on one end of the spectrum. And it's easy to know when a woman reveres and respects the life that you built for yourself, the character that you had to have in order to create the life that you have. I mean, that's the thing that's respectable, because the possessions can go, but the character and the fortitude and the makeup of the man is what got him in the position to succeed in the material world. And that part, the internal, creates the external. And that is the part that is to be recognized and to be respected. And the right woman will recognize that. She'll immediately compliment you. If you have a nice car, you have a nice place, she has no problem giving you a compliment. Oh, this is nice. And if you have on something nice, you're dressing well. And those are the women who are comfortable in your space, and they have a reverence for you. And you want to always deal with women who have a reverence for you, because you've built yourself up to be recognizable, to receive that level of reverence. To the contrary, you'll meet some women and you'll be good to them and you'll literally do nothing to them. And when they start to see the fruit of the man that you've become, they start to see maybe some luxurious items, luxurious place, luxurious car, just things that come along with the man that you are and the man that you've become. Then immediately comes the unsolicited disrespect, meaning that you did nothing to deserve it, but it comes as soon as the woman finds out something about you that is successful or out of the norm or beyond what she's been able to create for herself. And let me explain why. Okay. Many black women have convinced themselves that black men ain't, you know what I'm talking about, that they're nothing, that none of us are successful. These are the conversations that they have with their friends. I just met this guy and he's nothing. All these guys are nothing, they're nothing, they're nothing, they're nothing. And this is the opinion that they have of black men. And so when they meet a black man who actually has his stuff together, then it disrupts the narrative and the conversation and the leverage that she thinks she has over black men. If she thinks black men are nothing, then she thinks that she is head and shoulders and levels above every black man. Okay? So it's offensive when she meets a black man who is actually successful, because it disrupts her narrative. And don't let that black man be more successful than her or have nicer things than her. Then the disrespect is coming early, often, and viciously. And these are the women that you need to watch out for, because deep down they have a hate for black men. I hate to, go this hard on this video, but this might save a successful black man's life. When it comes to having a woman disrespect you for no reason, This is the place where it's coming from. She's convinced herself that she's better than black men. Her and her girlfriends have convinced themselves that they're better than black men. And the notion that a black man has more than them or is successful and has disrupted the ain't narrative that you've created about all black men. To disrupt that is going to come with some very vicious disrespect, and it's going to manifest itself very early. An example, okay? I gave the example of the woman who reveres you, the woman who's comfortable in your space. Like, this woman can compliment you, she can just flow with you, she's not competing with you. But to the contrary, the other example is the woman who disrespects you for no reason. And something very specific that I've seen women find out that I'm an author and I'm a motivational speaker, and they say something that's very disrespectful. This is like right on cue. This is how I know like the woman like really hates black men. She'll say, "What qualifies you to do that?" Now, if I was to reverse that and she told me what she did for a living, and my first instinct was to ask her what qualifies her to do that, she would take offense to that. Most people would, because that's a very off-putting and that's a very nasty question if you really dissect it. It's like, prove yourself to me. Who do you think you are? And that's exactly what they're saying. Who do you think you are to disrupt the narrative that I've created for black men? And so that's something that I encounter from time to time. And I know as soon as I hear that question, I'm gone. Because this woman's nasty, she's vicious, and she has the most the most detrimental type of what's the word? She has the most detrimental type of incentive to deal with me, meaning that if she gets a chance, she's going to bring me down as many notches as she can, and she can potentially do something to disrupt the life that I've created for myself. This is not a game. This stuff I'm talking about right now is not a game. If you see unsolicited disrespect from a woman when you've been good to her and you're presenting yourself as an elevated man who has been able to create continual results for his life based on who he is internally, and a woman can just immediately disrespect you without thinking twice about it, she's vicious and she's nasty. You need to get away from her. See, the thing is that once you convince yourself that there are no successful black men, the only thing that you have is in your mind is leverage over him. Okay? And a lot of successful black men, you have some black women who've gone through the years and made some bad decisions, and it's manifested in a tremendous amount of baggage. And you don't have to get specific. It's many forms of baggage. So they know deep down that the successful black men probably are either in her space just for something physical, or they literally want nothing to do with her. So with that being said, she now associates her value in the material world. So she can't really pin down the man that she wants. Now her value is the degrees and the societal decorations around her name, the job, the money, the zip code, the house, all of those kind of things. But once she meets the man that has all of those things, then the identity of value that she's created for herself is now neutralized. It's neutralized because that man has just as much or more than her, and she knows that she hasn't developed herself into the kind of woman that can pair herself with the elevated man. So now she has to compete with you. She has to bring you down some levels because she knows that she can never measure up and come to your level. This is a message for my successful black men. And like I say, this might be the one that would actually save your life. This is not, a message that's putting out there to offend anyone, but this is not all black women. This is a segment that black men need to be aware of, okay? This is the exact opposite of the woman that I'm trying to help to evolve into the elevated woman when I wrote that book, How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. But just watch out for the immediate disrespect and understand where it's coming from. Understand that you need to immediately disconnect from a woman if she is attempting to bring you down levels as soon as you meet, and as soon as she finds out things about you that are elevated, that will undermine that narrative that her and her friends put out there, that black men are nothing and black men are behind, and they need us, and they're nothing without us. Like it's a lot of hate speech that goes on. And the thing is, with the successful black man, you have to feel the energy of who she is internally based on that speech, based on that disrespect. She can't hide it. If she really has an extremely negative opinion about black men, she can't hide it. And if you stick around in the space of that woman, she's going to get nastier and nastier. I promise you that. There's no level of respect. There's hatred there, and you need to be able to recognize that. And so I created this video tonight to urge you to deal with the women who revere you. I promise you, if you've made it and elevated in life as a successful black man, I don't see many lukewarm women. I see either there's an appreciation, there's a recognition, there's a reverence, or there's just a pure hate. There's a disdain. How dare you? You all are nothing. How dare you become? Oh, how dare you have more than me? Like there is a disdain or there's a reverence, and you need to accept it. I'm just going to be honest with you. This might be the one that will save your life, because if you stay in the presence of the wrong woman, she's playing for keeps, and you may have an end that you can't get out of. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach, bringing you a video tonight, once again titled Successful Black Men and the Women Who Revere Them. Lean in that direction, the women who revere you. It has been brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to the new, How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if this message has elevated your thinking, if your thought processes have been improved, if you feel like you are better for having encountered this message, my donation information is in the description. Also, if you would like some one-on-one coaching so you can have the outcomes that you would want in the dating space, then email me at matthewchorne23@gmail.com. I'll be back at you very soon with some more videos, and thank you once again for spending some time with me.